Hello and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation with me, your host Owen, channel that brings you your team every single day. A channel that keeps you up to date with all the latest goings on at Ibrox. Well, guys, I'm going to start with an apology. Apologies, there was no live stream last night. Just not feeling too great at this moment in time. A few personal things that need to sort out, but still bringing you daily news videos. Still committed to do that. Do my best to obviously keep on top of all the latest goings on at the club. So look, I'm sure you all watched the game last night. I did. Sat down, watched the game. And I got to say, first half, absolutely fantastic. That is one of the best performances I've seen from Rangers in recent years. Absolutely superb. High intensity, high pressing, passing the ball quickly, moving it forward, putting a very good team under pressure and performing very well indeed. An all-round performance, and we'll talk about it a little bit shortly. But second half, I think more defensive display. Prague made changes at half time. Priska, you've got to give him credit for the changes he made. Is it Haraslin or Haslin? I can't remember the guy's name. He looked really, really good when he came on. Changes they made were effective. His changes were game affecting. He has good in-game management clearly, and Brian Priska is a good manager, and he showed that with the changes he made second half. Obviously, there was drama in the second half. They scored. The performance was pretty good from them in the second half, an improved performance, and obviously Jack Butland comes up tops again. But let's go back to the start. Let's go back to the very beginning, shall we? Let's obviously have a look at the team that we fielded for tonight's game. I think it's pretty much what as I picked. I think the other day on the matchday news video, wasn't it? Really, in terms of obviously Butland in goal, as I said on that video, the back four pretty much picked itself with Tav, Goldson, Ben Davis, and Borna Barisic. I've got to say, Ben Davis looked strangely effective tonight. He had a pretty decent game, I thought. Was strong in the tackle, cleared the ball well, read the game well. I thought Ben Davis did okay tonight. I thought, Connor Goldson was good. Had a couple of mistakes in him. That booking was a bit stupid at the end that he got. That means he misses the Aris game, which means that, if John Suter isn't fit, looks like Leon King will have to start alongside either Ben Davis or Ben Davis, really. That's pretty much it. Thanks to Michael Beale's wonderful Euro squad selection. What that man was thinking, how that man was ever thought of as a football manager, God only knows. And obviously, Borna did okay tonight. I thought he was solid defensively, which, for Borna is not his usual. He's not obviously, one of the things that has been called into question in recent times, and I've slaughtered him as much as the next man, has been his defensive abilities. And I thought defensively tonight, he was all right, actually. He did okay. Tav, I thought was okay tonight. I thought his set piece delivery was poor tonight from corners, very poor indeed. Often failed to beat the first man. I think that's obviously something we've got to continue to develop and get better at. Lundstrom and Jack. Jack seemed to have a different role tonight, didn't he? Obviously getting forward a bit more, less of the holding role. Jack was pressing from the front a little bit more, getting involved up the top a little bit more. It was more Lundstrom that was set back. And once again, a John Lundstrom performance that seems to very much divide opinions amongst the fan base. I've heard some fans, particularly Rabble, absolutely slaughter Lundstrom yet on TNT. They were singing his praises. I don't know. Lundstrom seems to be someone who you either come down on one side or the other with him. There seems to be no, middle ground or no grey areas with John Lundstrom. He's either great or he's terrible, and you have that set opinion on him. And obviously, I'd love to know what your opinion was. And I thought he did okay last night. I'm very much in the middle. I don't think he was brilliant. I don't think he was terrible. I thought he did okay last night. Performed okay. So, at the end of the day, he fought, he battled. I think he was asked to do more of the holding role. There we go. So look, the front four in terms of the three behind and the striker. I thought Cantwell did actually quite well on the right. Held a bit of width, supported Tav very well. Got stuck in. And if that's Todd Cantwell 70-75% fit, God help everybody when he's 100% fit, because I thought he was absolutely excellent. Well, not excellent. I thought he did very well tonight, and obviously took his goal extremely well. you marry that in with the fact that he got absolutely no protection from the referee whatsoever tonight. It just seemed to me that Prague players were allowed to foul him at will and not even get a yellow card. Yes, they may have been blown up for free kicks, but there didn't seem to be any yellow cards in the offing for anyone, no matter how many times Cantwell was cynically brought down by the opposition. Sam Lammers, I thought he ran, was involved well in, I think it was the first goal. Other than that, he wasn't great again. Flattered to deceive. I thought for every 2 balls he played decent out of 10, 8 he gave away. He gave the ball away an awful lot. Didn't really contribute much in forward areas. Not for someone who's playing in that 10 role. That's more a Todd Cantwell thing, I think, going forward, or a Tom Lawrence thing. I genuinely don't think that Sam Lammers is the answer. I thought Seymour worked hard all night, getting up and down. I thought he had pace to burn. I thought at times he really, with his physicality and his speed, had their right side fullback in a few difficulties. And Danilo, well, his movement was excellent, and obviously his goal could have had a couple more. But it's great, isn't it, to actually have a real proper centre forward, someone whose movement is very good, someone who has an eye for a chance, someone who has the confidence to take on a shot. Thought Danilo was absolutely superb tonight again. Let's have a little look. First half, like I said, I thought it was a storm, a Rangers storm. I thought they were excellent. I thought they high pressed well. I thought they passed the ball extremely well. I thought they played very, very well in the first half. And I just wish that we could put together a complete 90-minute performance and not a 45-minute performance, which does seem to be the ongoing theme a lot of the time. Look, first goal, obviously Danilo. You can talk about the mistake the defender made, but I think a lot of it was again down to Danilo's hard work, the fact that he put pressure on him, the fact that he worked hard, the fact that he gets the ball and he finishes very well indeed. Yes, he missed a couple of chances. That chance where he gives the keeper the eyes, looks in one way and then hits the other way and hits the post. Very unlucky indeed. But I thought a very good performance by Danilo. And the second goal, good diagonal ball from Lunny. Cantwell gets it, takes it, rolls it across off of his right foot to his left foot. I mean, that shows confidence, doesn't it? That shows a good player. How many players would have just blazed away right-footed and hope for the very best? No, Todd takes it, he rolls it across with his left foot and puts it in the back of the net. Superb finish. Yes, there were lots of other chances, I think, in that first half. And I think if you're going to be critical, which I don't want to be tonight, I think you could say that we were unfortunate not to go in 3-0 up. I think, 3 or 4-0 up, the chances that we had, chances we've really got to take, especially when we come across, better sides in this Europa League if we are obviously fortunate enough to progress to the knockout stages. But second half, I thought Priska made good changes. They get their goal. Jack Butland, gotta say that man is just an absolute star. I mean, again tonight he pulls off a save when it's 2-1. He's just a top keeper. He is really becoming a proper Rangers keeper. Someone who can have long spells of doing absolutely nothing, but yet when he's called upon, he can pull off a top class save. And tonight again, Jack Butland does that. And that little wink that he gave, I think was it Goldson or someone, it just says it all, doesn't it? He is the man, the absolute total and utter man with his performances. In the second half, obviously, it was unfortunate that we allowed them back into the game. I thought, like I said, Harris Lynn, when he came on, played very well indeed. Brimanovic was less of a threat. I think the defense did well. They dealt with the threat very well, even though there was an improvement in the second half. Danilo then gets a third, which I think is very unluckily ruled out for him tripping the defender Sorensen. You look at that, and to me, it's the wrong decision. You've got to give the benefit of doubt to the attackers. That's what we're told. We're trying to make football more attacking. We're trying to have more goals scored. That's what causes the excitement. And for me, it should be allowed. It should be allowed to stand. We've been done in twice by VAR this time. The goal against Celtic that was disallowed for the foul by Dessers, and then that one there. I think you've got to kind of go with the benefit of doubt to the attackers. For me, I know some people say, look, at the end of the day, it was a foul. I don't think it was. Anywhere else on the pitch, I think that was allowed to go. Danilo unlucky, obviously, not to get his second goal on that occasion. But overall, I thought, a good performance from Rangers. I think it's time we put together a 45-minute performance, sorry, a 90-minute performance, not just a 45-minute performance, which we seem to do. With some interesting comments on a few of the pods that I've watched tonight. People stating that it was reverse Rangers. It was, instead of being the second half better than the first, it was the first really good and the second not so great. Look, I think we need a 90-minute performance. We really do. I think if we get that, we're going to give someone an absolute shoe-in. Gotta say, absolutely love the passion from this man again tonight. Absolutely brilliant. He got it spot on with his team selection. He got it spot on with his substitutions. He did a great job again tonight. And the passion that he showed on the sideline, has got to be transmitting to the players, and also the way that he talks to the players when he comes off again. Excellent man management from Philippe Clement. Really doing a sterling job as the Rangers manager, and still unbeaten, still taking us in the right direction. And I'm a firm fan of this man and the way he works and what he is instituting at the club. He is doing a fantastic job, and I think what we need to do now is we all need to continue to get behind him and support him, and give him the rewards that he deserves. Got to say tonight, Todd Cantwell, a great goal, well taken, good goal. But nice to see him getting back to full fitness. Nice to see him getting back to being the Cantwell we saw at the end of last season, and hopefully that will continue going forward. If you look at the group tonight, going into the penultimate round of games, which is about a week's time, I think. You look at that, Rangers very handily placed on 7 points. Aris obviously lost today to Real Betis. If we can follow up that win over Prague with a win over Aris at Ibrox, which you've got to say is very much possible. That takes us up to 10 points. Sparta face Real Betis. Even in a likely win, event that Sparta win, you were still obviously ahead of them and in second place. So look, at the end of the day, look, this is looking good. It's looking decent. For me, we do need to obviously get that win against Aris to give us 10, perhaps a draw in Sevilla. And obviously then we're looking at Europa League football after Christmas, which is exactly what we want to see from the boys. Look, it's a nice performance. Really pleased with it. Buzzing. I thought great performance in the end. 45 minutes of excellence. Another second half, not so great, but worked hard, fought hard, battled, didn't let their heads go down. I think, the displays you've seen in recent weeks, night and day from what we were seeing under Michael Beale. There looks an identity, there looks a vision, there looks a style, a structure now, and a clear urgency to actually get on with the game. Something that was sadly missing under Michael Beale. Well, guys, let me know what you thought of the performance last night. Let me know what you thought of the game. Let me know what you think, obviously, of Rangers' chances, obviously, of qualifying from this Europa League as well. Well, guys, thank you for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation. Please hit that sub on the way out. And as always, two things I really need you to do. Number one is smash the like. And number two is to remember that we are the people.